At 2:15 p.m. Eastern Time today, 4 astronauts will sit down in Houston to discuss something that has never happened in the 25-year history of continuous human presence aboard the International Space Station. 6 days ago, they splashed down in the Pacific Ocean, their mission cut short by 4 weeks. NASA won't say which one of them got sick. They won't say what the illness was. But for the first time since November 2000, when the station's first crew arrived, NASA had to bring astronauts home early because the capability to diagnose and treat the condition properly does not exist 250 miles above Earth. Welcome back. On January 7th, something happened aboard the International Space Station that changed everything. A crew member experienced what NASA Administrator Isaacman would later describe as a serious medical condition. Within hours, a spacewalk scheduled for the next morning was canceled. Within 24 hours, NASA made a decision that had never been made before: bring them all home now. Commander Zena Cardman, pilot Mike Fincke, Japanese astronaut Kimiya Yui, and Russian cosmonaut Oleg Platonov launched toward the station on August 1, 2025. They were supposed to stay until February, relieved by Crew 12. Instead, on January 14th, they climbed into their SpaceX Dragon capsule and undocked. 36 hours later, at 12:41 a.m. Pacific Time, they splashed down off the coast of San Diego. 167 days in space, 2,782 orbits around Earth, 71 million miles traveled, and one medical situation that nobody will talk about publicly. Here's what we know. It wasn't an emergency. NASA was very clear about that. Administrator Isaacman stressed repeatedly this was not an emergency deorbit, which would have brought them down in hours. Instead, NASA took a week to plan the return, coordinate with SpaceX, prepare the recovery teams. That tells us something important. The astronaut was stable. The situation was controlled, but it was serious enough that waiting another month until Crew 12's arrival wasn't an option. Dr. James Polk, NASA's chief health and medical officer, put it this way during the announcement: the capability to diagnose and treat this properly does not live on the International Space Station. Think about that statement. The ISS has extensive medical equipment, medicines for dozens of conditions, diagnostic tools. The crew receives extensive medical training. They can handle injuries, perform emergency procedures, even conduct CPR in microgravity. Yet something happened that exceeded all of that capability. What could it be? We don't know. NASA cited medical privacy laws, and rightly so, but history gives us context. In November 1985, the Soviet Union brought 3 cosmonauts down from Salyut 7 ahead of schedule because Commander Vladimir Vasyutin had fallen ill. He was 33 years old, hospitalized after landing. Some researchers later speculated it was a prostate infection, possibly concealed during pre-flight medical screening. He never flew in space again. That was 41 years ago. Today, medical screening is far more rigorous. Pre-flight quarantine protocols are strict. Yet humans are complex biological systems, and space is an unnatural environment. Fluid shifts in the body, bone density decreases, the immune system changes, radiation exposure accumulates. Most of these effects are well understood, manageable, temporary, but sometimes something unexpected happens. Mike Fincke, the pilot, posted on LinkedIn before they left the station. "We are all okay," he wrote. "Everyone on board is stable, safe, and well cared for." This was a deliberate decision to allow the right medical evaluations to happen on the ground, where the full range of diagnostic capability exists. Notice the careful language: stable, safe, well cared for, deliberate decision. These are words chosen to reassure without revealing. And today, all 4 astronauts will speak publicly for the first time since splashing down. The press conference at Johnson Space Center in Houston starts at 2:15 Eastern. NASA will live stream it. What will they say? What can they say? Medical privacy laws are strict, but the astronauts themselves might choose to share information, or they might not. Either way, their presence, their demeanor, their words will tell us something. Here's what this really means, though, and it's bigger than one medical situation. We're about to send 4 astronauts around the moon. Artemis II launches as early as February 6th, just 16 days from now. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen will travel farther from Earth than any humans since 1972. 10 days in space. No way to come home quickly if something goes wrong. No hospital within 240,000 miles. Administrator Isaacman was asked directly whether Crew 11's early return affects Artemis II. His answer was clear: no. These would be totally separate campaigns. But the timing raises questions we need to ask. What happens if an Artemis II crew member develops a serious medical condition while orbiting the moon? Apollo astronauts got lucky. 6 lunar landing missions between 1968 and 1972, and not a single major medical emergency during flight. That was statistical fortune. Artemis II spends 10 days beyond low Earth orbit, 10 days exposed to deep space radiation, 10 days with only the equipment and medicine they bring with them. This is why what happened with Crew 11 matters. It's a reminder that space remains dangerous in ways we sometimes forget. Not the spectacular dangers of explosions or collisions, but the quiet, unpredictable challenges of keeping human bodies alive and healthy in an environment they weren't designed for. Today's press conference won't answer every question. It shouldn't. These astronauts deserve their privacy, but it will, or should, start a conversation about what we're prepared for as we push farther from Earth. How many medical situations can we handle in deep space? What's our threshold for acceptable risk? And when something unexpected happens, as it did on January 7th, how do we balance the crew's well-being against mission objectives? In 2 weeks, Artemis II's crew will climb aboard the most powerful rocket ever built and head for the moon. They'll be thinking about Crew 11. They'll be thinking about that astronaut, whoever it was, whatever happened, and they'll go anyway, because that's what we do. We push forward, we learn, we adapt. Thank you for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think we're ready to send humans back to deep space? Write your answer in the comments.